You're tuned into No Good Music. And now, here are your hosts, Rob and Sam.
Hey everyone, this is Rob.
And this is Sam.
And this is part 2 of our album anniversaries. And we have 2 more albums. I'm going to start, I guess, with this is a band I've loved since, I was like 10 years old. And I always tell people that this was my Beatles because I wasn't, born in the 50s or, it depends on when you grew up and what you started listening to. So my band was Led Zeppelin, and this album is probably, I don't know if it's maybe one of their lesser known albums, and it's Presence, that it's celebrating 50 years ago.
Wow.
Now, this was their 7th studio album, and it's pretty much their second to last album because the next album was pretty much their last studio album, before John Bonham passed away.
Right.
This was released on March 31st, 1976 in the US and April 2nd in the United Kingdom. And I don't know why. This is a English band, so they actually released it before they released it in the UK, which I don't know. I feel that's unique, maybe. Now, the record was commercially successful, but it did receive mixed reviews from critics, and it is the lowest selling album by the band.
The cover of this one always, even as a kid,
yeah.
is like, wow, that's a weird cover.
Yeah, let's talk about the cover first.
Okay.
Let me find my notes here. The cover features an object. It actually doesn't have a name. It was created by Hypnosis. I guess that's a company. George Hardy, and it features images of people interacting with a black obelisk shaped object. And the object is referred to simply as the object.
Reminds me of 2001 Space Odyssey a little bit,
Okay.
I wonder which came out first. No,
Was there an object in that?
There's like what do they call it, like a monolith or something? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Again, just like you, I'm not good with words.
So the company was Hypnosis. There's a G in there too. Co-founder Storm Thorgerson wrote that the obelisk, I'm going to say obelisk, represented the power of Led Zeppelin, saying they were so powerful they didn't need to be there. They didn't need to be on the album cover, I guess, or inside.
Yeah, the Stanley Kubrick did 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
That's 1968, so it's before Led Zeppelin. So I bet they were influenced by that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So obviously, Led Zeppelin needed to be there because how was the album going to get recorded, right? Now, both Page and Plant have said that the presence of the object in the photographs made people stop and think about what is real, which reflected the music. They probably are smoking something. So there's photos in this that, surrounding, the object. Let's see. Now, the background in the cover photograph is an artificial marina. It was installed in London's Earl's Court Arena for the annual boat show.
Oh, okay.
In the winter of 74 to 75. That's why it looks a little strange. Now, you can actually own your own object. You think I would have one by now with my love for Led Zeppelin.
Where do you get one?
You can go on eBay. This is the thing. There's ones for $15. But it says Led Zeppelin on the base,
So what?
I don't know what they're made out of. But then there's other ones. I have the feeling there was an official replica at some point. because why are there ones for $800 and one person, I don't know where I saw it, is selling one for 10,000? Is it maybe it's the original one, like the one that's actually on the cover?
I have to get one of these.
Or maybe it comes with Robert Plant's DNA. You can make your own Robert Plant.
They make them that light up. So 3D printed. Here's a standard version, $109.
Oh, I'm going to have to get one. Don't tell my wife. The band played a series of concerts at this venue where the boat show was in May of 75. Oh, actually, it was a few months after the boat show. So I don't know, maybe the set was still hanging around. The inner sleeve photographs came from various archive stock pictures and was designed to resemble a feature in I'm sorry, I can't talk. National Geographic. Now this is interesting. The girl on the back cover.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I don't have it in front of me. I thought I had the album here. I don't know if there's one girl on the back cover, but her name is Samantha Gates, and she also appeared on another Led Zeppelin album cover with her brother, and it was Houses of the Holy. She's one of the children.
Really?
Yeah, and she's on Presence on the back cover. Now the company was nominated for a Grammy Award. Now this blows my mind because they say you learn something new every day. Now we always hear about the Grammys. We hear about best new artist. We hear about best album, all that stuff, right? All those like different categories. But do you know there's a best album package award?
Is that a newer thing though?
No, I looked it up. It's still a category. You just don't hear about it
Because they don't play it on TV.
and it's the whole album package. And because vinyl has made a resurgence, I guess it's even maybe more predominant now when you still have a gatefold. You might include a poster, you might, other things in there. So they were nominated. I guess they didn't want, and this was in 1977 for best album package. So back to the actual, let's say, so this album's unique because this album, I have the feeling might not have been made if something didn't happen. And it was Robert Plant was in a car accident with his family. Him and his wife and his children, they took a trip to the Greek island of Rhodes. They rented a car and he lost control of it and he crashed it. There's not too much detail on this, but it left him and his wife injured. His kids luckily escaped with just a few bruises. But Robert Plant broke his ankle and his elbow, and he actually recorded this album in a wheelchair.
I didn't know any of this. It's fascinating.
Yeah. On August 23rd, they were supposed to begin a major U.S. tour, and it didn't happen. What came out of it was this album. They decided, or their manager decided, to rent, a recording studio or rent time and work on an album. Now, I didn't look up the album before this, like how, the time period, like how long it had been. Maybe they were due for an album. Oh, I think it was Physical Graffiti, the one before this, but that was a double album.
It was. Right.
So maybe they're going to take some time to not record and just do a tour, right? Now, most of the tracks were, mostly all of them were compositions by Page and Plant, except one song called Royal Orleans is credited to the whole band. Now, this album, unlike other albums, it also features no keyboards and has little acoustic guitar on this album. And because Robert Plant was recovering, the band could not tour to promote the release, and only 2 tracks were ever performed live, which were Achilles' Last Stand and Nobody's Fault But Mine. And I have to say, Nobody's Fault But Mine is like one of my favorite. It's just a great song.
Yeah.
Robert.
I'm excited. I want to listen to this record again. I've listened to it forever.
Yeah. Well, that's like like I said, I listened to Pet Sounds that we talked last podcast, but it had been a while, and I'll go back and really give it a listen. Now, this is a good solid album, I think, Led Zeppelin, and I don't think a lot of people talk about this album.
I mean, it's got Achilles' Last Stand on it, Nobody's Fault But Mine. I mean, there's some great Zeppelin on here.
For me, it's the Led Zeppelin album I'd say their last one. They also put one out after, Coda, which was, I think, unreleased
It's outtakes
tracks.
and stuff. Doesn't it have Bonzo's mantra on it? That
Yeah, but
yeah.
In Through the Outdoor, that's when I really got into I heard of Led Zeppelin. I heard the songs. I liked them. But, In Through the Outdoor, I would have been like 14 years old. So that was the album I really liked. Matt was really into this album. Matt got me into bands that I kind of heard of. I think Led Zeppelin might have been, they were probably played on the radio at this point.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Classic rock.
The other band is U2. Matt was into them before Joshua Tree and, that stuff. Anyway.
Same with my brother.
And it's great when you're growing up. And even now, if we have some younger listeners, what your friends are listening to.
Do we have any listeners? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think our age group is 65 to 90.
The dead people on.
So Robert, of course, had some downtime in Jersey, not New Jersey. It's an island near France, and Malibu. And him and Jimmy prepared enough material to be able to present this to the rest of the band. John Bonham and John Paul Jones joined them at Hollywood's Sir Studio, where they rehearsed the material throughout October 75. And like I said, because Plant was still recovering, he was in a wheelchair, which led Plant assuming most of the responsibilities at the sessions. It was completed in 18 days. This is amazing because this album's not, like simple song. They're not like verse, chorus. They're not pop songs. There's some incredible guitar solos and the guitar work. Just amazing. 18 days. Now, the rushed recording sessions were in part a result of Led Zeppelin having booked the studio immediately prior to, and I don't know if you want to talk about this album, because I think we're just going to talk about this one and the Wallflowers, but it was actually the Stones' Black and Blue album.
Really?
They were recording at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah, the Stones were, shortly after this, were about to record songs for that album.
Oh.
And both albums were released in the spring of 76. Jimmy Page negotiated with the Stones to borrow 2 days from the recording session time.
I love it.
During which he completed all the guitar overdubs in one lengthy session.
So let's think about this. Because Jimmy Page plays on Goat's Head Soup, which came out in August of 73.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, they were obviously friends already. Black and Blues 3 years after that. So interesting. Okay. I was trying to see if there was a link there.
The engineer was Keith Harwood. And so Page and Harwood worked on the mixes virtually nonstop until they fell asleep. Whoever woke up first went back to the desk to carry on. Page later stated he worked around 18 to 20 hours every day during the sessions.
Wow.
To get this album done. And they were also particularly challenging to Plant. The studio was in a basement of an old hotel, and he felt claustrophobic. He's in a wheelchair, and he also experienced physical difficulties as a result of his car accident, and he also missed his family. He later said he was upset about Page and manager Peter Grant booking the present sessions and began to reevaluate the priorities in his life. He probably just wanted to recuperate at home, not record an album.
Right.
This I didn't know either, because the album was completed one day before the American holiday of Thanksgiving. Plant suggested to the record company the album should be called Thanksgiving, but the name was suggested because of the band having a great presence, and a great connection to each other. So they kept, the name present. Now let's go through the songs. Track 1, Achilles' Last Stand. This is, over, 10 minutes. It's over 10 minutes long. First track.
Which was kind of like probably frowned upon back in the day.
And it's not really about the Greek warrior, Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know about Achilles. He was the son of a sea nymph. Thetis, his mom wanted to make him immortal by bathing him in the river Styx, but unfortunately, she held him by the heel. So that since this wasn't dipped in the river, which I guess was magical, that's why he was weak, his heel, and that's what his demise was. Achilles heel, that's where it comes from.
I didn't know that.
Now, I also think if anyone has never heard of Led Zeppelin, I can't imagine not. I think you should listen to
Somebody
this
out there
song.
that hasn't.
I'd say listen to this song first. But if you can go through 10 minutes and 20 seconds, whatever this is, I think you get a good idea of what you're in for. As far as the more intricate Zeppelin songs, the ones that aren't so like the ones where you're trying to figure out what they're talking about. Because I always think Led Zeppelin has songs that the titles aren't in the song, like a
Right.
lot of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't say Achilles' last stand in a song. There's a lot of them like that. Black Dog, I don't think they say Black Dog. Now, this song, Plant wrote the lyrics based on traveling across Africa in mid 1975 with Page. Page added 6 guitars in the marathon overdubbing session at the end of the recording period.
Wow.
Now, I do have a book. I don't have it with me, but I got this little book. It's the stories behind every Led Zeppelin song. Now, in this book, it says that Robert Plant was so excited by the song, and you don't know if this is true, that he fell off his crutches and landed on his bad foot. So he did have crutches too, I guess. And they had to take him to the hospital. Luckily, there were no fresh breaks and all was well. And then Page said of the song, I built that track piece by piece and got it in one night. So if you listen to this song and think that this was put together in one night, I mean, it's only one song, but it's 10 minutes long. And track 2, For Your Life, it was developed mostly in the studio. Page used a Fender Stratocaster provided by former Byrds guitarist Gene Parsons. But in my book, it also said, I don't know if it's the same guitar, he used a blue 62 Stratocaster. Also used the same guitar when he was in the Firm.
Oh. And Jimmy's not known as being a Strat guy.
Robert Plant said it was a sarcastic dig, the song at someone he knew and liked in LA who got sucked into the LA drug scene. And he said it's sort of wagging the finger and saying, watch it. Plant explained.
Wow.
There's a great guitar solo on the song. Track 3 is a most interesting song, I think. It's called Royal Orleans. And this was written about an incident involving Jones at the Royal Orleans Hotel in New Orleans and included a reference to soul singer Barry White. What was the incident?
What was it?
I'm going to tell you. Phil Carson, a long-term associate of Led Zeppelin, said everyone should study the lyrics of Royal Orleans. It's about a member of the band, and we always said John Paul Jones, waking up in bed with a drag queen. He says, did it give him shock? I don't think so. But in this song, the word Whiskers pops up. I don't know if you know this song. Right?
I mean, I've heard it, but I don't know it word for word.
So he said, so we can assume this is a physical characteristic that gives away the bedmate picked up on Bourbon Street. So here's the lyric. And when the sun peeks through, see, sometimes some people don't listen to the lyrics of the songs. Okay. And when the sun peeks through, shone down on his Susanna, he kissed her whiskers left and right. That's the actual lyric.
Wow.
Like I said, this song was written by the entire band. So I imagine he told this story and then they were all maybe excited about putting this song together. Maybe they all helped with the lyrics.
Yeah.
The track 4, Nobody's Fault But Mine. Like I said, probably my favorite song on the album. It's got like stuttered lyrics. It makes it unique. And the song was inspired by Blind Willie Johnson's song, It's Nobody's Fault But Mine. And some people say, Led Zeppelin stole stuff.
Yeah.
Songs. The That song was first recorded in 1928, later covered by Nina Simone in 69. And this song is one that was performed live. They played it on their 77 tour. Plant also featured the song during his solo tours in the 80s. Track 5, Candy Store Rock. Another song I just love. There's heavy use of echo on the guitars, which gives it a 1950s flavor. Plant described Candy Store Rock as one of his personal favorites on the album. Said this was me trying to be Raul Donner, and the rhythm section was inspired. Now, Raul Donner had a hit with Please Don't Go in 61. And Raul Donner was also the narrator of the movie This Is Elvis. So there you go. I think it's a fun song. It's not exactly like the song Hot Dog. If you look up Hot Dog, Led Zeppelin, but they're both kind of fun songs. That's on In Through the Outdoor.
Yeah.
But it's not about, I have here, it's not about Gollum or a stairway. So, it's a, it's a track 6, Hot's On for Nowhere. Odd title. The song was written about Plant's time in Malibu, and Jimmy Page played the Stratocaster on this track. It's got a nice bass line. There's la la la's, make up the chorus. There's a nice guitar solo on this one. Listening to this, I really think this song should have been on the Honey Drippers album. Has a kind of feel to it. That was later on.
Yeah, but that's a great record.
And then the last track, there's only 7 tracks on this album, probably because the first track is 10 minutes, over 10 minutes. So T for One, and it's a blues number written by Robert Plant about the problems he faced being separated from his family. And it said it was an attempt to update their earlier Since I've Been Loving You from Zeppelin 3. I think it's just a great raw song, raw blues number to end the album. Well, and I have here, it leaves you wanting more, I think, on this album. To end it with that, it's over. The album's over.
Yeah.
So we already talked about the artwork. I have a couple last things here, and what people thought of the album. Stephen Davis of Rolling Stone said Presence established Led Zeppelin as the premier heavy metal act, featured some exceptional rock music, highlighting the clean and purifying guitar riffs. And Robert Christgau of The Village Voice said Hot's On for Nowhere was a commanding cut, while finding much of the rest of the album consistent, but unnecessary in comparison with early recordings. Some people didn't like the album. Neil McCormick, Daily Telegraph, claimed it was Zeppelin at their most blunted, awarding it 2 stars out of 5. Now, on July 31st, 2015, 10 years ago or more, remastered versions of these albums came out. Now, I do have Coda. That is one, but In Through the Outdoor, Presence, and Coda were remastered. I do have actually, the album I have is supposedly, I got it years ago, supposedly signed by Robert Plant.
Oh, really?
Cover. Yeah. I haven't had it authenticated. Now, In Through the Outdoor, I have one of the originals with the, paper bag on it. My wife was with me when I was at the record store, and it was $25. It wasn't $100, but she allowed me to buy it.
Nice wife.
Now, I said I have here, it would have been cool if they included, now I don't know with Presence if they had any, if it's just the remastered version and I don't think there was any box sets, but it would be cool if they included the object.
It comes with an obelisk.
Yeah. Where they shrink wrap it, and it's back in the 70s or 80s, you would see these, maybe on a cereal box, or their toys were in the cereal box, but where you could see it. Is this their best album? Probably not. But I love Led Zeppelin. What can I say?
It's an interesting record. It's different. I like, from a band that's so big, I like the interesting stuff. It's different.
Yeah. just like we talked about Pet Sounds in the last one. It's, for some people that, I don't know, even if you love the Beach Boys or maybe you like the Beach Boys because of their surf music, you may think Pet Sounds is not a good album.
Right.
So,
Right.
someone who really loves the Beach Boys, like yourself, you really love that album because it's different.
Yeah.
Who wants to hear the same
And
thing all the time?
exactamundo.
Okay, so we have one more album I think we're going to talk about. We may talk about two.
Maybe we'll see how things go. See
Yeah.
how your behavior is.
I'll let you lead it.
Well, Bringing Down the Horse by the Wallflowers, 1996. Let's go back in time, folks. Back to when Sam was a so had been a
Sam was
sophomore in
two.
college. And I just remember this record dominating the airwaves. It
Mhm.
was I remember being, I'm a big music, I'm a music fan at this point in my life, not as big as I am now or whatever, but it's like it was a big deal because it was Bob Dylan's son. This was
Yep.
actually their second record.
Jacob.
I'm a terrible Wallflowers fan because I don't think I've ever listened to any of the other records but this one. So shame me for that.
I am the same way. They have a new album that came
Yeah.
out I think, last
And
year.
I saw that I was, I bought my daughter Harry Styles tickets. I bought tickets to see Spoon in
Mhm.
Detroit. And then I saw these guys are literally playing down the street here in Ann Arbor. And it said they're playing this entire record.
Wow.
And then they're playing Tom Petty's, I already forget which, the entire Tom Petty record after it.
I hope they
So
come around here if they're doing a full-on tour for Bringing Down the Horse.
they
Of course, we're
are.
talking about the Wallflowers Bringing Down the Horse.
Yes, that's the record here.
I
So let's
like
see
that
here.
title though because I always want to say Bringing Down the House for some reason.
Right. They did that on purpose.
Now I saw the Wallflowers in 2024. I think it was in September in Kentucky, of all places.
Are you close to Montclair?
Yeah.
May 9th, they're playing in Montclair.
Yeah. At the Wellmont?
I don't know. It doesn't really say.
Oh.
I got to click. Yeah, the Wellmont. Yeah. Is that nice? Is that a cool theater?
Yeah, it's a small place. I saw the Brian Setzer Christmas show there. I've seen a couple shows there. I saw Mammoth.
So this is released May. So I would have just finished my sophomore year, May 21st, 1996. Produced by T-Bone Burnett, which, he's a great producer. Had 4 big hit singles that we all know, if anyone's listening to any radio. 6th Avenue Heartache, One Headlight, The Difference, and 3 Marlenas. Funny story about 3 Marlenas. So
I dated 3 women named Marlena.
No, I dated a woman named Marlena for a while in college. And then after that, I dated a woman named Susan. And I wrote her a song called Four Susans. 3 Marlenas, which I don't remember. Reached number 4 in the Billboard 200, went quadruple platinum. I mean, this was a huge record. And there's just something about Jacob Dylan that I like. I imagine he's a really chill guy. He'd be fun. He'd be fun guy to hang out with. I don't know. Maybe he's an a-hole. I've never met him. I've never read anything about him. I just,
I assume he's similar to his father.
A little reclusive and funky and weird. And
yeah, if you saw him sitting at the bar, you'd be like, should I go up to him and talk?
Well, you read
is he going to talk to me?
How far are you into the Peter Wolf book?
Oh, not very far, but
there's a whole Dylan section in there that is hilarious.
I definitely want to do a podcast on the Peter Wolf book.
Okay, we're gonna have to do that because I'll go back. I'll read it again. It's so good. Anyway, I digress. Yeah. So really, this record was like roots rock for the MTV generation. It's the Dylan lineage. It's got the Tom Petty. What I think a bunch of the guys from Mike Campbell plays on it.
Yes.
Michael
from
Ward was a
Tom
guitar
Petty
player
from
on
the
it. Yeah.
Heartbreakers. Oh, I have a list here.
Oh,
We can go down the list.
and I have I didn't realize Matt Chamberlain plays on this. I've
Yeah, Mike
actually
Chamberlain.
Matt Chamberlain, drummer.
Oh, why do I have Mike? There are two of
Matt,
them?
he's famous. I've actually been in a
Okay.
recording session with Matt
Oh
before.
wow.
Really neat guy,
Yeah,
amazing drummer.
I have Mike, so it's probably Matt. You're because I know you're looking at something, but
I'm looking at the truth, and plus I
yeah.
know who Matt Chamberlain
And
is.
he I have here he's worked with Pearl Jam, David Bowie, Elton John, to name just a few people.
Yeah. No, and like so I did
And also Sam.
I didn't play with him. I was on a recording session with him
Okay.
where he was playing a friend in Detroit hired him to come in and play some songs, and the guy was an absolute pro. Like
Yeah.
he just came in, he played, and he was done.
Laid
Like
it
he didn't
down
need
and-
multiple.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
great and a super nice guy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that on this record. So it's it gives you that like '90s alternative introspection. It's kind of like it's melancholy without being whiny, which is kind of a hard
Mhm.
trick to do. You got Jacob Dylan stepping out of the shadow of his father.
Well, I have something because my friend Joe Conte, he did a little video on Pink Floyd. I know this has nothing to do with Wallflower, but it does.
Oh, it's fine.
In that Pink Floyd put out the album Animals during the disco period. So he was kind of intrigued, And I said, yeah, Pink Floyd didn't care. I said, Kiss put out Dynasty and at the end of disco. But here we are, 1996, and I did comment on his about grunge and how a couple bands like REM, Oasis came out around the same time.
Yeah.
When grunge was prominent. And yeah, they weren't feeding into what was going on. And this is another album, 96. I was really into grunge, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, but I also had this CD, which I still have.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you put it into the cultural context of the time, like grunge was kind of fading a little bit.
Yeah.
Britpop was peaking at this point.
Yeah.
New metal is on the horizon. And like, here's this record that it was organic. It wasn't about polish. It was what I love about music is it was instruments played well, produced well.
Good
It sounded
songwriting.
like it was a good songwriting.
Yeah.
So
we have some other people on here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go.
And maybe I knew this, but I listened to this. I think it's the song Sixth Avenue Heartache, which has Mike Campbell, tell me if I'm wrong, on slide guitar. Yeah, that's what it is. Here it is. And backing vocals. Now, when I listen, I've heard this song a lot. I love this song. I love all the songs in this album, but now when I know, like, I don't know how I didn't know, but Adam Duritz from Counting Crows.
Yeah.
So now when I hear the song,
You hear it, don't you?
I hear him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got Sam Phillips, singer-songwriter. Maybe most people aren't familiar with her, on backing vocals on One Headlight and Laughing Out Loud.
And Gary Lewis from the Jayhawks. I'm a huge. Do you know
Yeah,
Jayhawks
we got
at all?
Gary Lewis on One Headlight and The Difference. We got multi-instrumentalist Fred Tackett from Little Feat. We got Michael Penn, who of
Sean
course
Penn's
is
brother.
Sean Penn's and married to Amy Mann. He's been married to her
That's
for a long time.
Yeah, Michael Penn's great, by the way.
Yeah. He's backing vocals on Angel on My Bike.
David Rawlings is on this.
I don't have David. And
He's on it.
We've got drummer Don Heffington, who is a founding member of Lone Justice, and I'm a big fan of Lone Justice. Maria McKee, lead singer. I love Lone Justice. Like when they opened for U2.
Oh, did they?
And I didn't get to see them.
Oh,
that's another story because we forgot. Matt forgot the tickets.
You're
speed.
You're kidding
home.
me.
Yeah, we had to.
He had
like
one job.
Miles an hour. It was near Newark.
He had one job.
Yeah, and then we sped back, and by the time we got there, we did get to see you too, but Lone Justice had already played. Anyway, that's a whole story. Even getting the tickets to that show. Anyway, it's like I'm making it up. It could be a short movie.
So, and I think also the thing about this record is I did go listen to it last week
Hmm.
and definitely took a many year break from because it did get played to death.
Yeah,
And there's probably a lot of people that hate it because of that.
it kind of reminds me of another album, and it might have been around the same time. Do you know a band called Buffalo Tom?
Yeah, I know them, but I can't say that I know. If I heard it, I would know
And
that what it was.
I think they have a similar. I thought they have a similar song to the Wallflowers. Anyway, Buffalo Tom. I'm gonna look up the album here because if you don't know them, I want you to listen to this album too, because it's simply my one of my most favorite albums ever. They're from Boston. It's called Let Me Come Over. There's a guy sitting in a chair on the cover, like a yellow background. Oh, okay, this is why. Because the Wallflowers have song One Headlight. Their song is Taillights Fade. But listen, listen to that. I'm telling you, listen to that song first, because that was their single. And I know you'll love this. If you like the Wallflowers, you'll love this album. I don't know why
Okay, hold
they're
on.
so similar. And this,
We're still talking Buffalo Tom, right?
yeah, Buffalo Tom, and it's from what year was it? Can do the math. It's the 25th anniversary edition. Came out in
93,
2017. 17.
1998. There's a record called Smitten.
Yeah, it
And
was
it was
around that
2007.
90. Was it 97? Take 2017 and subtract 25.
Hold
Um,
on.
so that would be eight. That would be 92, I think. Right? 92. Anyway,
So they had a record in 93.
let me come over.
Is the name of the record?
Yeah,
Oh, where is
there's a
it?
guy sitting in a chair. But I
Oh,
find that
here it is.
album.
Yeah, 25th. Okay.
Yeah, you got to listen to that. You don't have to listen to all of it, but listen to Taillights Fade at least,
Okay.
because that's the song that will, yeah.
That's a
It's
band I
it's
know of that I don't know very well.
and it's a song. I'm pretty sure it's about someone committing suicide, like a girl, and it will just pull you in. I mean, I'm telling you. So anyway,
Wow.
okay, but Tim
Yeah.
Tim lived in Boston, and he turned me on to these Boston bands, and we actually saw them.
Okay.
The lead singer also had another band, and he opened for. We saw him with Juliana Hatfield. She's a Boston person.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So there's a bunch of people on this album from other bands, and now One Headlight we can talk about. Do you want me to talk about it?
Go for it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you get add in the bits and pieces.
So he didn't intend to write a hit song, but it helps.
He's Bob Dylan's kid. Who's the
Yeah.
mom?
And yeah, this was their second album. He wrote it with
Who's
the intention of wanting to impress and work with a producer. So if he could come up with a great song, send this song around, or maybe it would, someone would it would come to the attention of the person, like, okay, I want to work with you. Or then he began writing this song after his record with Virgin Records, which was considered, I guess, their first album was considered a disappointment. Feeling the band deserved a second chance, he wrote the song at his kitchen table in Los Angeles. Now, some lyrics were inspired by Bruce Springsteen. Independence Day, great song, right? Bruce, 1981. She said, it's cold. It feels like Independence Day, right? And I can't break away from this parade. So that's the reference to Independence Day. And One Step Up from 1988 said, well, this place is old. It feels just like a beat up truck. I turn the engine, but the engine doesn't turn. So in Bruce's song, went out and hopped in my old Ford, hit the engine, but she ain't turning. So there, I went through these songs. I like wanted to see what they were being referenced. And this album won 2 Grammys in '88 for Best Rock Song, Best Rock Performance by a duo or group with vocals. I found Sixth Avenue Heartache, the inspiration, kind of unique. Did you look this one up?
No.
He was living in New York City, Jacob Dylan, and there was a homeless man who would sit outside his window and play the same songs every day. But one day the man was gone and his things were still there. We don't know what happened to him. He said until gradually people started taking them. Maybe his guitar, maybe, I don't know. That's what inspired him to write the song Sixth Avenue Heartache.
Oh man.
And also, God don't make lonely girls. I don't know why. I simply love this song.
It's just the songs on this. They're just great songs.
Well, even
And
this song is pretty simple, I think. But
yeah,
the way he
the
sings
best ones are.
the way he sings the chorus, just convincing you. He's convincing you.
Yeah.
God don't make, I think it's a cross between Tom Petty and also Springsteen.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out, ironically, that the Wallflowers are playing at the Trade Winds, which is, I don't know if that club's still there, in Seabright, New Jersey. It's down the shore.
Okay.
In 1997. And I found video, I don't think I found video of the performance, but I found video of Bruce showing up at the sound check. Bruce pulls up in a pickup truck and goes in, and you can see him talking to Jacob Dylan in there. So people were like, you can hear the excitement, and people are thinking, is he going to show up tonight for the show? And sure enough, Bruce shows up and does this song with the Wallflowers.
Wow.
I think they might have done a couple other songs too.
I mean, it doesn't hurt that your dad's Bob Dylan.
Yeah, and he could have changed his name, but nowadays,
And he could have went by he went by the Wallflowers. Obviously, people knew who he was.
Oh yeah, that's true. But even when you change your name, people find out.
Yeah.
Like Stephen King's son, Joe Hill.
Oh, is that what's that story?
Well, no, he goes by Joe Hill, and I think, I don't know. At first, maybe people didn't know it was his son, but then I don't know. Somehow it came out, and now everybody knows. He still goes by Joe Hill instead of Joe King. But he's starting to look like his dad now when he had the beard and was like in college. I don't know how old his son is, but yeah. So listeners, I don't know if you have any more to say on the album, but
no, let's do Black and Blue by the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a huge Stones fan. Thanks to my brother. My first nice guitar was a Telecaster, like Keith. And then come to find out, I have the same birthday as Keith Richards.
Oh.
December 18.
You don't look that old.
I know.
A different year.
So I remember my brother playing this record. This was their 13th studio album. And I think there's what I've read, there's a whole kind of like this era through Tattoo You. They were kind of recycling stuff or using stuff from previous sessions. And Mick Taylor had quit the band on this record. So you had a couple of non-Stones players on here. There was Wayne Perkins, Harvey Mandel, and of course, the new guy, they still call the new guy, Howie Mandel, Ronnie Wood. So my favorite part of this record is it's got a lot of favorite parts about it are the reggae and the funk.
I'm not too familiar. I mean, I think I know Hot Stuff.
Which is kind of like disco, right?
Yeah.
You have Nicky Hopkins and Billy Preston playing keyboards on this. So they record this in December 74, right after that's where they had previously recorded It's Only Rock and Roll. Fool of Cry is on this, and Cheerio Baby. No, Hey Negrita is not on this. It's Cheerio Baby
Let's
which is
see.
an Eric Donaldson song.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, if you people aren't into reggae, like get into some of the earlier stuff. There's so much great reggae music, and rock steady is the other term that
Hmm.
gets pre-reggae.
Oh, I think this is
Um,
funny. Jeff Beck went over for a jam session
yeah, Jeff just
just to
comes
see
over.
what was going on.
Yep.
Um, and he joked, in 2 hours, I got to play three chords. He said I needed a little bit more energy than that. That's what
uh,
nice.
so it's a little bit of it's a 41-minute record. It feels like a shorter record.
Hmm.
Um, to me, I don't know. It's just one of these records I really love. The cover's kind of funky, and it covers a lot. I think for the Stones, they cover a lot of genres, which they've continued to do ever since. Because Keith Richards is always a big reggae fan, right?
Yeah.
And and they loved the early. They covered a lot of early Motown and Chuck Berry early in their careers. It's just I don't know, man. This is just, and I think this, as far as Stones records, a lot of people don't like it. It's not very high on the list. But first song, Hot Stuff, definitely has like disco vibes to it.
Hmm.
Hand of Fate comes out then, which has got this, the open G Keith Richards riff. That's great. Cherry O Baby. And then the last song on the first side is a Memory Motel, which they've done that in the past few tours. Um,
I think I know that song. That sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to listen to. I actually love the Stones. The Stones and me go way back.
yeah,
When I was a kid. That's why I always think certain albums mean certain more things to you when you're younger, and that's why when you get older, you'll mention an album like this one. Probably maybe someone who likes the Stones. Maybe they're not really into them fully, right? And
yeah.
they'll be like, and like me, I love the Stones. I don't know why I've never listened to this album, but what I'm getting at is like the for me the Stones album is like emotional rescue. I'm serious because
It's a great
that was
record
when
too.
I first
Yes.
discovered. I heard of the Stones, and when that album came out, and listening to an album for the first time, and something about it, just the title song too. I mean, does something to you. Tattoo You. I have the deluxe version of that one.
Yeah, me too.
So maybe this album, this was probably came out way before you were. I mean, probably came out before you were born, right?
Nope. I was
Okay.
barely. I was about 4 or 5 months old, so I didn't remember it.
Okay. But also bands that you really get into, you'll find your album. You'll find certain albums that just, for one reason or another, like this one seems like one that's a little different than a regular Stones,
And I
album, like
think
you
so
said.
too.
Yeah,
And because
to
of the
make it
wide
unique.
variety of music, and it did get to number one in the United States and went platinum. So like
Hmm.
people were into it, but it's just it's a different record for the Stones. I feel like it's a transition because it's Mick Taylor leaving, it's Ronnie Wood coming in, and some of the, and even for within that record, a portion with some other guys. And I don't know. But it kind of, it's like the glue between a couple eras of Rolling Stones for me. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's hard I'm probably to explain it in this podcast. I'm doing a terrible job.
let's look at the albums. Like the album before it was Made in the Shade, which was the compilation album.
Compilation.
Yeah, and then It's Only Rock and Roll came before that.
Right.
Uh, and so this was kind of an in between because after Black and Blue, you have another, I think it's a live album,
Yeah.
Love You
Love
Live,
You Live.
until they go back in the studio to do one of the biggest albums, Some Girls. Yeah. So it was kind of one of those in between, albums. And then,
Yeah. And then
yeah.
some girls had more disco on it, right? Like,
Yeah. And
because,
even leading into 1980 with Emotional Rescue,
yeah.
that was like disco,
Yeah.
disco.
Four on the floor, with Charlie playing the cornet kick drums and beats. And
She's
I
So
don't know.
Cold on that one.
That's a great, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so much good.
Now I'm
So
gonna have to
much good.
listen to Black and Blue.
And I think the recording production on it's great. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me. I like anything the Stones do. So I'm.
Yeah, I always like the Stones. I actually I have a Keith Richards autograph.
Do you
I don't,
really?
yeah, and I was looking for trying to get a Mick, but now I don't know. I've had it for a long time.
I
It's
have a
just on a
Charlie Watts.
card.
That's it.
It's just on a card, but
How
I
did
can,
you acquire it?
I bought it from someone, so it looks looks authentic to me.
It's
It'd be
real
nice if
off
I
the printer.
met someone like that.
I have a Charlie Watts. I'm assuming it's real. When I was with my brother at a record store, and Flipside Records in Kalamazoo used to have a bin of posters that were free. And there was a Charlie Watts quintet, one of his jazz solo records,
Hmm.
and I took it home and I realized it was signed.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
now, all the record stores sell that stuff, or I mean, and I have an Charlie Watts did a tribute to Charlie Parker, Ode to a High Flying Bird, which was a children's
Hmm.
book that came in a box set with a CD, and there's an autograph on that too. So the only Rolling Stones autographs I have are of Charlie Watts.
Yeah, and I like now they you can people that put out albums or CDs, vinyl, they'll offer signed versions.
Yeah.
And they're usually not that more, or they might be the same price. Because I just got Steve Martin and
Oh, did
Allison
you?
Brown.
That's
It's
cool.
a, it's bluegrass. That was my number one album from last year, believe it or not. Because I don't know why it's been in my car. Because I buy CDs once in a while too, still.
Uh-huh.
And since it was in my car, I listened to it about 5 times, and it just kind of grew on me. The songs are
Oh,
quirky, but anyway, I'm a huge Steve Martin fan, so I have a lot of autographs, like authentic ones, because he put out a book a year or two ago, and I got the signed edition. But anyway,
mm-hmm.
see, bands like the Stones, though, they don't put out signed editions. I'm surprised with Taylor
No.
Swift, though, that she's so huge, and how is she signing thousands?
Yeah,
You know,
how? Yeah, how
yeah.
many does she sign?
Okay. Well, anything else about the album, or it is a unique
Uh,
cover to, well, not unique, but
well, there was
Keith is kind of
controversy
staring
around that.
down. Oh,
He,
really?
th- yeah, because he had a tied up woman on the cover,
Oh, okay. So that's not the
and
cover we see. Oh, you know what's
it,
cool? I'm looking on Apple Music,
yeah,
and it's the remaster version, and it scroll because I think the album cover itself is just Keith and
yes,
Mick, and who's behind him, like Bill Wyman, right?
yep,
Peeking through. And then probably the back cover is Ronnie Wood, Charlie Watts, right? The back
yeah.
cover. Well, Apple Music has it as a complete image that scrolls across.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty cool. So they
Yeah.
did for the anniversary roll out a super deluxe version that I purchased.
Hmm.
And what is on that? It's let's see here. I'm looking it up real quick. There. The other thing is there's not a lot of extra outtake stuff from what I've read because a lot of the records from this era are outtakes from other sessions. So, I can
Oh,
probably look up on Apple Music.
the deluxe. Here I have it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a lot of live, like disc three.
yeah,
It, wait a minute. Well, there's a disc two, and I guess they're probably the outtakes. I
yeah.
love
I love
ladies.
ladies. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I love lady. There's lyrics on that, but if you look at the outtakes, four of them are jams.
Okay. Hmm.
So, the Rolling Stones who
Yeah.
have just a bazillion
Yeah, and it looks
things
like
in
they
the
named
can.
one. They just named one Chuck Berry style jam.
Yeah. So
Blues
there's not
jam.
like
Oh, here we go.
there
Yeah,
there's
freeway
not a
jam.
bunch of extra material because they'd use what they had at the time. That's what I remember reading. So,
Well, I take it Jeff Beck showed up on the wrong day because they've got other jams here. He's like, what,
right.
you know, and they're doing hot stuff, and he's, you know, just plunk, plunk or whatever. And then
Uh,
disc three and four are
a live show.
live at Earl's Court, London.
Yeah.
So that's all live stuff. And that's
Now, do you know the song Hand of Fate?
sounds familiar.
It's just the Keith guitar riff in that is it's legendary. It's probably one of his
Okay.
most underrated ones.
Okay.
like what Keith has always said about guitar solos versus riffs. And he said it a few years ago. He's like, guitar solos come and go, riffs last forever.
Yeah.
And like it's true.
Mhm.
You think of Satisfaction, it's like it's 3 notes or 4 maybe, but like, guitar solos with hundreds of notes, it's the
Yeah, I like
to me it's the simplicity of things.
Yeah, I like things in songs where they kind of are unique and stand out, like a riff or even the vocals, if they kind of are done in a certain way, like in a chorus or just the way they flow. It's something that like catches you, like when you hear it, like, wow, I really,
Yeah.
there's a Sarah Shook and the Disarmers. I don't think there are anymore, but I love that band. But there's a song. I don't know if maybe it was one of her side projects anyway, but there's a song where the guitar or something, and I want to interview her because I want to ask her, but the guitar is doing such a like an like a almost out of tune like note. I don't know the proper terminology. And the way her voice goes, like it bends, and she kind of bends her voice with the note that song, whatever that song stood out to me, stuff like that, where you hear something, you're like, what was that? And even
Right.
yeah, like you're saying with certain riffs, the Stones, I think, are known for, and even AC/DC, you hear that riff, you know what song before anyone even sings or anything. So,
It shook me all night long. When you hear the first note of that, you know exactly what it is.
Black and Blue, is there, you said you have the Super Deluxe, which what is
Yeah.
four albums?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there one? Because I would be interested more so not in the live stuff, but the two, the original album and then the extra one with the jams. Do you know if there's a two disc version? Because I know
I think there is. I think there is. Yeah.
Because I think Tattoo You, they did they probably had a two, they had a one, the original remastered, and then they had two, and then they probably had a four, but I got the two.
There is, I think,
one.
just a deluxe.
Okay.
There's super deluxe and deluxe.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to listen.
Yeah, the outtakes aren't anything special. They're just blues jams, and the Rolling Stones probably have hundreds of hours of that stuff.
Okay. I think that does it for.
I think we did it.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for listening to us talk about music, which we love.
We talked about music.
And later on in the year, we'll do another one of these, or maybe even sooner. I don't know. The albums we picked actually covered the first 6 months. I don't know if you know that, but that was.
No, I do now.
Because I sent Sam, I think, a list, and then he could have, picked one that wasn't on there. But yeah, so it's up till I think June. So my idea is the second half of the year we'll pick a couple more albums from the
world makes it that far to there.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
We're gonna be okay.
So thank you, everyone. Email
Thanks, Rob.
nogoodmusicpodcast@gmail.com. And as always, turn off the TV
and turn up the music.
You've been listening to No Good Music, intro and exit music by the band 99%. Today's episode was recorded live and slightly edited for your listening enjoyment at the Did You Say 7 Studios in Washington, New Jersey. You can find No Good Music on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, our host site Podbean, and mostly anywhere you listen to podcasts. Be sure to follow our Facebook and Instagram pages. And as always, thank you for listening.
Holy moly.